Okay, welcome everybody to the next drawing tutorial. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of perspective. So what I'm going to start with is a ruler right here. Let's go ahead and draw two basic lines. So we can go ahead and just go across right here. Actually, I've got the wrong pencil here, HB. So let's go across right there. And I'm going to go ahead and place the midpoint just about here, just in the center, and then I'm going to go ahead and just join this up with this, and then we can go ahead and join this up on this side. So now we have this nice little triangle going on. So what I'm essentially going to do here with perspective is I'm going to do two cubes, so to speak. So we'll do 10 centimeters up from our starting point right here at the bottom. Just try and make sure that's as straight as you can get it. We'll go straight up, and then we're going to do 10 centimeters. We could do, actually we could do 10 centimeters there if you wanted to, but because this is perspective we're going to half this, so let's go with 5 centimeters. So this is just a rough guide to perspective. As things go into the distance, they get smaller. So now we can place these two lines together right here, and then we can go with 10 centimeters again on this side. Just make sure that's nice and relatively straight-ish. Go straight up, and then we can join these 2 points because we already know that's a 5 right there. I used to have something like this. Rough guide. So I'm just going to take my eraser here and just get rid of this line real quick. Okie dokie. Right, okay, so this will be our little perspective. So what we can do as well is we can go ahead and just draw, say, if we place 4 in the middle just here, just try and get it as straight as you can. Go from 8 to 1, just as such, and then we'll bring this upwards from this side right here, and then we'll do this side right here. So this might look a little bit complicated, but just bear with me. So now what we can do, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the middle right here. Now this might be a little bit further over on this side, as I've just realised, so it's no matter because it's perspective anyway, so it might just be off centre, which is brilliant because that's the kind of thing that I like to see. Not perfect perspective, but just off centre. Oops, rubber's coming out. Or eraser, you guys like to call it in the US. We actually call these rubbers in the UK, but I know that you guys call them, that's a name for something else in the United States, so maybe we'll stick to eraser. And I guarantee there's someone in the comments going, oh, we call them rubbers as well, but you know, or we call them erasers, but yes. So perspective wise, we have these two pieces here, and from this we're going to grab our ruler once more, and we'll go across onto this side, and then we're going to grab the ruler once more again onto this side, and you can go anywhere at this point really, it doesn't matter, and then just go straight up. And we'll just go ahead and just roughly place this together, which will be cube 1, and then we'll make cube 2. Just here. And then go across to that side. Now, we take our eraser to try and get rid of some of the stuff in the middle. And get rid of these blemishes here and this blemish here. Oh, we've missed the point. So now we have a little bit of perspective on cubes. So if we were to say do a tiled floor, this is just like a rough perspective on what you could do. So we have our little point right here in the middle, and everything is going into that point. So what we could do is we could make kind of like a little tiled floor. So what you're going to do is, this can be tile 1, tile 2, okay, so that's your first row of tiles. Your second row of tiles is going to be a little bit larger because we're going towards the viewer. So as you go along, just make these larger and larger and larger until eventually you reach to roughly here. You do this freehand, that's great. And the tiles, whoopsie, will be bigger here than they will be here. So as you go down this little avenue right here, go ahead and maybe half these, and they're just going to go ahead and get smaller and progressively smaller until you reach the end, something akin to that. And then once we get to this end right here, these will be ultimately a lot bigger as we go through. So I'm just going to try and follow this natural line that I've kind of created right here. Okay, so we have something like this. Now when the lines come from this side right here, they're going to splay outwards. They're not just going to be straight crosshatch lines like this. We're going to go ahead and do one line coming down here, and you'll notice that it slowly comes out to the side right here, because as the perspective comes closer, everything's going to get bigger. So you can go ahead and do that the other side as well. Everything's going to come a little bit closer. Now this is rough drawing. I'm sure you'll be able to make this better than I will. So very small in the distance, comes outwards, bigger. Go ahead and do this on this side. Essentially everything should go to a point. Just as this. And then when we get to the middle here, we're just going to do the exact same as we did. And then you can kind of bring this outwards a little bit. And then we've got one more line in the middle. Now what I would say is, don't do your line straight down because it kind of looks a bit weird. Like perspective wise, you want to just do it at a slight angle so it looks a little bit more natural. So given that, let's just build these lines outwards just a little bit more. We now have this little perspective. The same way that we could go ahead and we could draw cubes at the back here, and the cube would go into the perspective, if you can see that right there. So you'd have a little bit of a straight line right here, the cube would come across, and then you'd have like a flat little bit right there, so that building would be all the way squished up right back there. The same way that if you had, say, windows on the side of the building right here, we'll draw a rough window. Now we're going to want to follow the natural curvature of the building right here and the natural curvature of the building right here. So try and make two lines equidistant between these two, and then try to make the two lines equidistant between these two as well. And you'll notice that when you do this, the pane goes inwards with the windows, and then try and make sure that the vertical lines are straight somewhat. And then we're going to do the doorway here. Straight line straight down, parallel to the side of your building right here. Make the top roughly parallel to the top of your building right there, estimate. Or you can make it parallel to the base of your building right here if that's easier for you. And then we're just going to bring this down. Now, for me personally, I think that would be correct. So, you could also follow the natural line here and just place a line across so that you could draw a secondary window. Just kind of some note lines right there. Follow the natural curvature of the house. And you could have something like that. Now, I'm pretty sure that you'd be able to do a better job than me, because I'm kind of rushing with this tutorial a little bit. That would be your perspective coming through. You could also do mountain ranges. So say like this is the end of town right here. Maybe you have a city in the background. You have all those beautiful skyscrapers that are coming through. To be honest with you, I can't stand in skyscrapers. They really do kind of mess me up a little bit. I have been in a skyscraper before. It's an okay experience, I guess. It's not the best experience. But say you've got your little city in the background right there, and then you've got mountains in the back. So then you can go ahead. You can make like a little volcano-y mountain right here. Bring in another mountain in the foreground. And I bring that across. And then you've got some hills or something at the back. As is. And then maybe you'll have some little clouds. And yes, I'm drawing like really basic right here, but I'm just trying to show you the perspective. So, this line, I don't like it. Go ahead and just amend that. I don't think that's straight enough unless there's a hill here. That's not straight enough for me. So, let's see. Another thing with perspective, if we had a ball right here, a child had left a ball right there, we wouldn't draw the ball the same size as we would down there. In fact, we would draw it adequately smaller, because that would be our perspective. The same way that, say we had some brickwork going on here, or perhaps a window. You have the window this big here, and the window this big here, and then follow the contour of the building. Perhaps you'd have something roughly like that. You could, I'm just trying to think. So it's generally, that's how the perspective works, that you've got your part right there. The same way that if you had planes in the sky, as say, you just extended this outwards into the sky, whatever like that, and you have birds, so I don't know, a bird, for example, let's go with kind of like a basic bird rather than drawing a huge one. Right, so that's your little bird, right? And your bird, as you come to the back here, will be about that big. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on perspective. It's not a full-blown, here's some delicate detailed art, but it just shows you how to do a little bit of perspective given a small scenario. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please enjoy the rest of my channel. I make Blender videos, and I am also a published author, so if you could check that out as well, that would be fantastic. I will see you in the next tutorial. Thank you for watching. Bye.